Welcome back to Here's Next Door. Thank you all for watching. Today we are in Shamokin, PA, and we're doing the Ralpho Fire Company. Let's go see what they have. Today on Heroes Next Door, we traveled to Shamokin, PA to do a station cribs. So as I make my way into the firehouse, we're going to meet up with a guy named Erik. He's the one that reached out to us, I believe, on Facebook to invite us out. And you're Erik?
Yep, Erik. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for inviting us out. Who else do we have here?
All right, well, I'm the president and one of the assistant chiefs here. Okay. This is Lieutenant Brian Williams.
Nice to meet you, Brian.
And our chief, Clint Herr.
Nice to meet you. Yeah. So thank you for inviting us out. It's a very beautiful station. You got a great area to live in. It looks like in between the mountains. Traveling up here, I saw a lot of unique things coming through town. So.
It's real nice to be out here in the suburbs.
So, do you mind taking us through your house and showing us what you got?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
1927, the original building was built. They found a need for a station over here. So it's 95 years old this year. We're coming up on 100. The original building, the brick building, housed everything downstairs in 2 smaller bays. Then over the years in the 70s, 80s, different additions were added on. The most recent addition was an extension of the carriage room up top, which was done in 2006.
Okay. So down here is the front of your building. Yep. And the one thing that I really liked as I drove up, this looks like an older building. It has the keystone in the corner of 1927 when it was built. Love the arches, all the architectural things that go into an older building. I like the fact that you guys didn't tear it down when you did additions.
Right. A lot of the history comes from this part of the building. This is the first, obviously, that was built, and then, like I said, the other additions were added on. The most recent upgrades that we plan on doing now are, we have a gym planned for down here, so to kind of keep fit and, volunteers, you know what I mean? Just something to work out. Everyone's looking for a place to work out.
Right.
So besides that, we did have a smaller gym down here before, but we're now in the process of making a much bigger gym, gear cleaning area, and stuff in the back. A lot of our things are done in-house by our members, and that's probably one of the most important things. Is number one, it saves money, and number two, it kind of gives a sense of home. Doing projects around here, and yeah.
Yeah, that sense of ownership really becomes valuable in a fire company. If you do the dirty work of redesigning or upgrading, it becomes part of you. It becomes part of the family. Not just you and I talking together, but the building itself, that tradition. Are you going to keep the old brick?
Yeah, I believe we're going to keep the old brick. We did keep some of the old brick in the remodeling upstairs as well. Just kind of give it that nostalgic firehouse feel.
Right. You going to keep the overhead doors?
Yep, doors are going to stay here. We're not plan on closing them. It'd be nice to open them up on a nice day, especially when you're working out. And then when we do the lounge next door in the next bay, it'll be the same thing. So.
Yeah, we recently did one in Diamond Fire Company up near Scranton, and they left their doors. It was a perfect way to do that.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be interested to see what this looks like when it's done.
Yeah, maybe we'll have you back in 5 years and you can see.
Absolutely. So, now, we go up the old stairs to get to your gear room, but we can also enter that from the side. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the upstairs takes us to the hall first, and then the gear room's on the other side of the hall. So.
Okay, let's do that.
All right.
So we're coming up into your social hall?
Yeah, it's our social hall / training room. We use this mostly for trainings, number one. Number two, we do rent it out, smaller occasions, smaller parties, things along that nature. Okay.
Now, a lot of firehouses, they use them for voting places. They use them for HOA meetings and those kind of things. Is that what this is designed for?
Yeah, actually, it's going to be set up for voting next week. So this will be one of the primary voting areas of this area. So people come to the firehouse.
And this entrance is off the side, which is also very close to your engine bay.
Yeah, yeah. Right on the other side is the gear room. Okay. So.
Got a lot of pictures up on the wall.
Yeah, a lot of pictures. Just memorable calls and things that the company was on. Some older time pictures. Trying to figure out, filter through some older ones and get them on the walls and some history.
Right. Now you're 100% volunteer, is that correct?
Yep, we're all volunteer here.
How many members do you have?
Right now we have about maybe 20, 25 active members. The core group, maybe 10 to 15 of those, maybe, to get out for calls.
Okay. Do you guys do a training night every week, once a month?
Yeah. Every Wednesday is our training night. Every first Monday of the month is our meeting night / equipment check. So.
Okay. But what time was that? Did you
6
do
o'clock.
that? The reason I asked that is because, you know, we want to promote this to our viewers. So if they're in the area or they're thinking about joining a fire company or they want to know information, I want to make sure that they're coming down.
Yeah, every Wednesday we're usually here training. You know, if the doors are up, anyone's welcome to come in, check us out, find out what we're about, and you know, we're always welcome, open arms.
Very cool. So let's make our way through the kitchen, and then that goes into your gear room and into the engine bay. Is that correct?
You got it.
All right, let's go take a look. This is taking us through the kitchen area, but I noticed that you have some things up on top of the cabinets.
Yeah, we have some of our memorabilia we put on display. We don't have a spot right now necessarily to put it, so we're in the process of putting a crew room in.
That's the one downstairs?
Yeah, that'll be downstairs next to the gym, so, you know, couches, lounge, TV. So then all that stuff will kind of migrate down there and kind of get out of the hall area.
Yeah, it keeps that history of the firehouse as you continue to build. As we make our way through the kitchen, we're going to go into your your coat room, right?
Yep, this will be our gear room.
Now, this is unique because an older building, we normally don't see a separate gear room. We see a lot of the gear get put up on the walls of the engine bay or the apparatus bay.
Right.
You guys are almost meeting that NFPA regulation of having that hot and cold zone.
Yeah,
was that purposeful?
No, it wasn't purposeful. This used to be an old bay, I guess, back in the 70s, 80s. And when they added the new truck bay on, they just formed us into the gear room because it was right next to, obviously, right to the truck. So it's kind of nice to get dressed in here, keep the gear out of the, you know, the diesel smoke and fumes and stuff. We don't have a purification system in the bay, so, you know, it's just nice to, you know, be able to dress here. Everybody gathers here. We kind of know who's coming to a call and get on the rig.
Okay, okay. I noticed in the corner you have a Marine with your...
Absolutely, yeah. One of our second lieutenant, Jacob Herr, he is over in Poland right now, I believe, stationed. So when he gets back, we obviously took in consideration, you did another station in Cribs down in Millersville, I'm not sure exactly where. But we kind of took that on the reins and did the same thing to let him know that, hey, his spot's saved for when he comes back, and it'll you know.
That's an awesome way to honor our members of the armed services and stuff like that. You also, where I started out front, you had a little memorial out there.
Yep.
That was built by...
we had a Boy Scout come to us for an Eagle Scout project. So he designed everything, put the stones in, him and his buddies came, and we bought the flagpole, obviously. They did everything else around it and built that out front for us. So.
They did an excellent job.
Thank you.
You know, the one thing that we always touch on, and, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm repeating it over and over, but, you know, being part of a firehouse is all about bringing your skill set. You don't necessarily have to be, you know, computer savvy. You don't have to pick things up and put things down and be muscular. We need everybody.
Everybody thinks the fire service is about running into a burning building. I mean, they see it on, you know, the TV shows, the movies. It's not what it's about. We run more mutual calls, as in, like, you know, accidents, rescues, rope rescues, anything like that. Anything that goes wrong, people call 911 for, and we're the ones that they send out. And with those calls, that adds up. And trying to keep a station running and calls as well. I mean, we need everybody. We could use computer people. We could use people that write grants. We could use people just to drive. If you want to come just to drive, get in the truck. We'll teach you how to drive, pump, things like that. So
yeah. So like I said, if you guys are watching these shows and, you know, you've seen a lot of our station cribs, station rigs now, these are the fire companies. These guys are the heroes next door that are really doing it for us. So how big is your area that you cover?
We run just under 20 square miles in our township and in the village of Elysburg as well.
Okay. So 19 square miles is actually a pretty big area. Is it mainly rural? Is it mainly residential?
We're mainly rural, but we do have a lot of newer homes being built in our area. That's the reason, you know, we have a tanker, we have an aerial. People might say, "Oh, you're rural. Why do you have an aerial?" Well, the houses they're building these days are just way too big to get any kind of ground ladders to roofs and stuff, so that's why.
Right. So you don't have an engine then?
Nope. We run primarily the Quint concept. So if we have to get there and do suppression, we have water and we have hose on here, and then we also have set up as an aerial as well.
Are you pretty well hydrated?
We have hydrants in our first due, but once we get outside of the village of Overlook, it's all rural and tanker supply.
Okay. Yep. Now, how many calls do you guys normally get in a year?
A busy year would be 200, so anywhere between 150 to 200.
Okay. And can they respond to the call, or do they always come here, like the members that are part here?
Yeah. We encourage any mutual aid for our members to come here first to obviously staff rigs. If it's in our township and we have guys that may be on the other side of the township, we'll either throw their gear on the truck or we'll meet them on scene if they have their own gear personally.
Okay. Now, this was your newest addition, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. This is our 2020 Pierce Ascendant, 107-foot aerial, 2,000 gallon a minute pump, and 500 gallons of water on it.
Okay. What we have over here?
2005 U.S. tanker. It's international. It's built out in Wisconsin. I don't think the company's open anymore.
Okay.
But
how many gallons of water does that hold?
2,000 gallons.
2,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have another truck in the back here.
Yeah, we have a utility truck that's mostly used for all of our minor incidents and traffic, trees down, you know.
Good looking truck. Does that got a lift kit on it?
Yep. Yeah, we just put a suspension on it last month, and it was actually used twice already just to get off road, which came in handy for a minor fire and a brush fire as well.
So this is your apparatus bay, and this was the newest addition that you put on, and it's a pull-through. Do you use it as a pull-through?
Not necessarily. Sometimes we will if there's not another vehicle on the road. You know, if we're coming from a direction, we will. But we mostly just back the trucks in.
Okay. And I noticed we don't have, you know, some of the bigger stations that we've gone to, they have mechanics rooms. You just have basically mechanics
we just kind of do all our maintenance here inside. all our SCBA maintenance, saw maintenance, anything like that.
So, and when was this one built again? You had the last edition done?
Last edition, 15, 16 foot was added on to the end in 2006 when we got our tanker. We had another tanker sitting here. We recently sold it last year. Okay. It was a kind of a one task, you know, vehicle. It only dumped water. It didn't have any pumps, hoses, or anything on it, so it just wasn't getting used a lot. We run out of drivers, things like that, so we just decided to sell it.
Okay.
Better for the station.
How do you guys raise finance? This is kind of a smaller town in middle Pennsylvania.
Yeah, people want to know, you know, how do you afford $1 million apparatus? Our biggest fundraiser is Elysburg Haunted House. Us and Elysburg, the other station within our township, we co-run that, and it's a pretty well-known attraction around October for Pennsylvania. It's one of the longest running volunteer haunted houses. So that brings in anywhere, you know, thousands of people. It's open every weekend in October, and we split the proceeds. We also do help other companies as well with that.
Wow.
They come and help us out.
Yeah, again, that's thinking outside the box.
Yep.
It's doing something that no one else really is doing, but it is able to give you finance. Do you guys also have a fire tax? Do you charge for calls? Is there
we don't charge for calls. We could bill insurance if needed. I don't think we have in the past. They think there's a very, very small fire tax in the township. I'm not sure exactly how much it is, but it's you know, it's enough to cover, you know, your heating or electrical bills or things like that.
Okay. Really nice station. I love the fact that, you know, we started from 1927 and we worked our way into kind of a modern area. You included the gear room that's a little offset to kind of meet those NFPA regulations. It's a beautiful house you have here. We're going to take a look at the outside just to show the viewers.
Sure.
But thank you for inviting
Thank
us
you.
out.
Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
We appreciate it. So I want to thank Ralpho Fire Company for inviting us out. If you're ever in this area, it's very beautiful. As I drove up, I saw a lot of cool things. If you're in the community and you live here and you want to be a volunteer, come down here, hit them up on their Facebook page. They'd be glad to see you. Also, you can come down and come to one of their meetings. The other thing, if you like this video and you want to see more, go to our YouTube page, Heroes Next Door, hit subscribe, hit like, hit notification, and keep sharing our videos. We appreciate you and thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next week.